them up on the screen because I want to see their face when I say this. Right now, Bronny James is averaging 0.3 points, 0.3 assists, and 0.4 rebounds. You know what people are saying. You know what they're going to do to this kid. You know what these numbers mean. You know what it's going to do to your son, to people who are missing out on opportunities, that are busting their tail on other NBA teams in the G League, in Europe, and everywhere else, what kind of opportunity they're starving for. You're exposing your son like this? I'm not trying to be disrespectful in any way. I'm simply saying to have that moment on game one of the NBA season is one thing. To propel it to a point where he's on the bench, he's in uniform, he's taking up a roster spot, and now you're giving him time in the first quarter, and you see the absence of production. How are you helping him? That was LeBron James coming up to me, unexpectedly, I might add, to confront me about making sure that I mind what I say about his son. Quite honest with you, to be in that moment, to have LeBron look at me the way that he did, for me to be a father of two daughters, for me to know what fathers, how much love fathers have for their children, and to hear what he had to say, it was all about his son. It was almost as if he was saying, you know, you and I, because he and I don't necessarily vibe, it's high and by, we keep it moving. Neither of us lose sleep over it, and it's been that way for years. But it was like he was saying, keep that between me and you. Almost as if he was thinking that anything that I said about Bronny was a result of him. And in that situation, again, I wasn't talking about Bronny. I was really, really talking about him because of the position that Bronny was in. But I really understood where he was coming from. He was very, very upset. I could tell. He could have called me. I'd have came to see him. I'd have had a conversation with him. He could have been just as upset face-to-face, man-to-man, as opposed to being courtside at the game. I had no idea that everybody saw it until I woke up this morning. But it is what it is. In the end, like I said, you know, I as a father, I get it. I'm not offended. I'm not insulted. I don't have any animosity or animus towards LeBron James for this. Nothing like that. I don't think he cares, but neither do I. I'm just stating fact. None of that exists. If I was in his position, I can't definitively say I would not have done the same thing. I'm not blaming him one bit. I get it. I understand it. And there's a part of me that aches and hurts because of it. But unlike a whole bunch of people with their podcast and beyond talk about the NBA, I covered the NBA. And it's my job to talk about subjects and the subject matters that matter. I work for ESPN. I'm here. We have the #1 morning show for the last 13 years and counting. God has blessed us with that. There's a lot that's going on, and there's a lot of stories that are there to be told. And I just feel it's necessary to remind people, Molly, I was raised as a journalist. Let's be very, very clear about what that means. I'm not one of those that get into people's private affairs. But what you do on a public platform for public consumption, that's what I cover. That's what I do for a living. And if you're in the NBA, that applies to you. I don't want enemies. I live a very good life. I like to make people laugh and smile and have a good time and all of that other stuff. But I also get paid to call it like I see it. And what I said at the time, I stand by what I said. It wasn't even any reporting. The facts were out there. And what I was saying about LeBron is fact-based because of what he said and the things that he said leading up to his son getting drafted and ultimately being in the NBA on the same team as him, as opposed to being a Boston Celtic or a Golden State Warrior. There is no way around that. And when you are born and raised as a journalist, not born and raised, but when you're raised as a journalist professionally, you don't want enemies, but you ain't paid to make friends. You got to call it like you see it. And that's what I did. So again, in closing, I just want to say I'm not upset. I don't care. I wish that it wasn't in that kind of atmosphere. I wish it was in a private setting.
Yep.
I don't blame LeBron James for being upset. I don't blame him for being angry. I don't blame him for wanting to confront me, because that wasn't a superstar basketball player that confronted me. He played like one again last night, which just reminds you of his focus and his greatness.
Yeah.
But that wasn't a basketball player that approached me last night.
Let's get
That was a daddy.
Stephen A versus LeBron James. Yo, what's up? This is Renz at Stogies and Hoops. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't particularly care for LeBron James. Mainly, I don't care for LeBron James because when my Atlanta Hawks had their 60-win season, one of our best chances back in the day of going to the NBA championships, LeBron beat the shit out of us with a sorry-ass Cavs team. I don't like LeBron. Just like I don't like Larry Bird because he used to beat up on Dominique now. So, that's a personal thing. But as a player, as a father, as a businessman, I respect LeBron. I don't like him because he beat up on my team, but I respect him. I can have a beer with him, even though I don't drink beer. So I can have a cigar with him, and I can have some bourbon with him. But I ain't gonna ever cheer for him. That's not going to happen unless he's playing for my Atlanta Hawks. Stephen A. Smith, on the other hand, I've never been a fan of Stephen A. Smith as a entertainment reporter. I respect his journalism. I respect his ability to get the stories. I respect everything he's done to get to where he's at. But oftentimes he says things that I just can't get down with. And in this situation, it's a little on both sides. LeBron, first let me talk to you. LeBron James, look here, young man. You painted a picture of a big bullseye on your son's back that's bigger than it should be. He was going to have a huge bullseye on him, period. But you painted an even bigger one when you were making statements about him being better than most people in the league and all these sorts of things. You should not have done all those things. But I understand you want to give your son props. You want to make it justifiable that he's in the league. And here's the thing. If he got drafted, it's justifiable that he's in the league. A lot of people are upset because he got a guaranteed contract right off the bat. And most 55th picks don't get that. No 55th pick gets that. But I'm not mad at you. If it was my son, if it's my daughters, and I have an opportunity to wield my power in order to guarantee certain aspects of their life, you damn right I'm going to do it. Am I going to paint a bigger picture on their back than it should be? I will do my best not to, but I'm damn sure going to help my kid. And here's the thing that kills me about a lot of people out there. You would do the same thing. It's being done in every business function in the world. You got people who are completely inept running businesses that their parents used to own. And y'all want to say something about LeBron? Y'all stupid. Of course I would have done that. I applaud him for doing that. I'm wondering why other NBA players haven't done that. You wield whatever influence you can to make it better for your kids. Even that, isn't that the job of a parent? So no, LeBron, you keep doing what you're doing as far as how you raise your kids. Keep raising your kids that way. Keep doing that. I don't blame you. Stay in the league a little bit longer so that Bryce can get in there and you can pick and choose where Bryce goes as well, because I would do the same, because what team a kid goes to makes more of a difference on their development and their experience and their prosperity in the league than anything else. Now, Stephen A., you backpedaled and you front pedal. You backpedal and you front pedal. You question this man's parenthood while you know that nepotism is rampant within the league, because the league is a business. If your kids were journalists, you would give them the leg up to get them inside in ESPN just as you are in there, and you would flaunt your power to do so. So that's bullshit. But the biggest bullshit that you said was the fact that, too, he was taking away someone else's opportunity. No, he's not. He's not taking away someone else's opportunity. How many 55th picks are still in the league? How many 55th picks make it in the league and not just drown in the G League or go play overseas? So that's bullshit. The other part, them playing on the field, whatever. He gets a chance to play on the court just like anybody else. His numbers are his numbers. But the biggest one that you spouted out of your mouth is that LeBron should have did this in private. You spoke in public, so the retaliation comes in public. Don't ask for privacy when you weren't willing to give privacy yourself. So hell no. But as far as everything else, Stephen A., do what you do. I respect your game. And hey, this is Renz at Stogies and Hoops. See you on the rebound.